Hey everyone, Mark here. Welcome back to the Visually Stunning Movie Podcast. Thanks for joining. Hey, I've got a sci-fi horror mix, more sci-fi than horror, really. It's from Left Films, who I'm not real familiar with. I haven't seen a lot of their stuff, but I've gotten a couple or three here in the last week or so. So we'll see how this kind of shakes out. And this one is called Reign of Chaos. Written by Tom Jolliffe and directed by Rebecca Matthews. And the synopsis, such as it is, when the world is gripped by a plague unleashed by the evil Lord Chaos, and humans are turned into rabid creatures, mankind can only be saved by three young women, descendants of a goddess, with the power to stop chaos evil. So, this rabid effect that people have, humans don't understand that the Lord of Chaos is behind all of this, so it became a pandemic, some sort of a virus that people got and fell under, either died or got really sick and became these weird... Okay, anyway, so it's kind of a zombie thing, but not really. So yeah, like I said, Left Films, I'm not real familiar with, so we'll see how this all shakes out. Now, again, limited sample size. The last movie they sent me was pretty good. So, we'll see. That being said, man, this is actually a pretty decent premise for a film. I like the idea of a war between the gods, kind of infiltrating humanity on a level like this, where it becomes this illness, this sickness of evil, as opposed to just, fire and brimstone and armies of whatever. This is actually people falling under the sway of the Lord of Chaos. And blah, blah, blah. But that premise, the promise that I saw in that premise, really is kind of hamstrung right from the get-go by a lot of problems. What kind of problems? The cinematography, for one. It shot in these weird close-ups, quick cuts. The entire opening sequence was just a terrible mashup of things happening, and it's just really poorly put together. And then they've got this weird voiceover to explain this weird set of cuts that are happening to get things done. The fight choreography. Now, the combat leads, these three women, and we'll get to more of those issues in a minute. They can't fight. They cannot fight. They cannot fight in a convincing manner. The various punches and kicks that they perform they're horribly executed. And being supposedly these kind of mystical warriors, descendants of a goddess, just doesn't track. And maybe the lead's inability to perform these kind of things is why the editing of all of these combat type scenes are just so patchy. These characters, because we have three sisters with special powers. Boom, charmed. We have a gruff foreigner who comes to train them to be who they are. Boom, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That same guy, literally a pale copy of Sean Connery's Ramirez from Highlander, including a huge chunk of that character's name, and behavior. It just everything in the film is just lifted, including the training montage where he's training them to fight. Stolen from every action movie ever, and not very convincing at all. But they did, by doing so, manage to cram in the chicks fighting chicks shtick from every 80s action movie, during those. So, again, while I said the general story, that germ of what we're trying to do here intrigued me enough to watch the film in the first place. But it feels like this was just an idea, and nobody bothered to do any developmental work on it before someone yelled action, and then they yelled action, and it just feels like whoever happened to be in front of the camera at the time is who did the job, and it's just not good. So, I mean, it's hard to criticize the cast when they've been given so little to work with in terms of story. But in this case, you have to. The actors are not that good. I don't know if anyone could have saved this production based on how developed it was. But these actors and these performances certainly did this story and script no favors at all. So all in all, Reign of Chaos is really 77 minutes, and it's only 77 minutes. It is 77 minutes that I desperately wish I could get back and spend on another film. But I can't. So don't make the mistake that I did. Skip it. Let them have my 77 minutes. Don't let them have yours as well. So, but if you must, Reign of Chaos is currently available digitally, and it stars Rebecca Finch, Georgia Wood, Carmina Cordelia, Mark Sears, and Rita DiTuccio. So there you go. That is what we have. Reign of Chaos. From Left Films. This one is a miss for me. So I have got a literal ton of more indie films to talk to you about. Ryan will be back. We've got a ton of big films to talk about. We've got a few more big films to see coming up that we've got to talk about. So stay with us. Stay tuned. Don't forget to like us. Follow us on social media at VS Movie Podcast. You know how that works. If you're on YouTube, click subscribe. That helps us out as well. And until we get back to you again, take it easy. Stay safe. Go see a good movie. And we'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.